Joining me right now is Louisiana Congressman, House Minority Whip Steve Scalise. And Congressman, it is great to see you. Thanks so much for joining us. I want to kick it off with this FBI fallout over General Michael Flynn. A federal judge could sign off on the Justice Department's decision to drop the case against the former National Security Advisor as soon as today. That is what Sidney Powell is expecting us. And she told me that yesterday as this new spotlight is being put on former President Barack Obama and how much he knew. Let me just ask you what you think about this, Congressman, because I have this timeline here. On January 4th, the FBI decides that they're going to close the case on General Flynn. On January 5th, there is a meeting in Obama's Oval Office. And in that meeting, you've got Sally Yates there, you've got James Clapper there, you've got Comey there, and this is where they discuss the Logan Act. The next day, Comey briefs Trump on the...
In a leaked call with former staffers, former President Obama slammed the DOJ's decision to drop the Flynn case, saying the rule of law is now at risk. Flynn had pleaded guilty, of course, to providing a false statement to the FBI regarding his contacts with the Russian ambassador. But he tried to withdraw his plea and raise sharp questions about the agency's tactics. Flynn's attorney now claims new documents prove top officials tried to set her client up.
So the whole thing was orchestrated and set up within the FBI, Clapper, Brennan, and in the Oval Office meeting that day with President Obama.
So you think this goes all the way up to the top to President Obama?
Absolutely.
Griff Jenkins is live in Washington with more as we await for any moment now that possible sign off by the federal judge. Good morning, Griff.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, Flynn's attorney making those claims there after former President Obama is blasting Barr's decision to drop the case. He misstated the charges.
Barack Obama stepping out of private life with a now very public critique of his successor's pandemic performance.
It has been an absolute chaotic disaster.
That scorching assessment came during a Friday night phone conference with about 3,000 members of the Obama Alumni Association to encourage them to get active helping Joe Biden's candidacy. In the recording obtained by Yahoo News, Obama described coronavirus response through a larger political lens.
Being selfish, being tribal, being divided, it's part of the reason why the response to this global crisis has been so anemic and spotty.
Tonight, the White House responded. There has been bipartisan recognition of President Trump's leadership, and the American people have taken notice. For the Trump team, the crisis is more personal. 2 staff members tested positive for the virus.
So she tested positive out of the blue.
Including Katie Miller, press secretary to the vice president.
They've taken all of the necessary precautions. I understand Mike has been tested, vice president, and he tested negative.
Stepped up precautions include deep cleaning of West Wing workspaces, separate lecterns to keep the president at a social distance, and daily testing for all seniors. And after a military valet who assists the president tested positive Thursday, the chief of staff says masks will sometimes be used.
And as it gets close to the president, some of those that serve him will wear a mask in those closer proximities.
And Kelly, there's a visible difference now among the Secret Service.
Jose, for the first time tonight since this crisis began, I witnessed members of the president's Secret Service detail in masks. That's a new thing. And there were also members of the U.S. military and uniformed officers also wearing masks while they were posted inside and outside the cabinet room where the president held a national security meeting. Those other principals in the meeting with him were not wearing masks, and many other staffers on the grounds do not as well.